YouTube? We got upper control arms on the 2006 Hyundai Sonata. This is definitely a money saver, and we're going to knock this out without removing the struts. Now, you can remove the struts. It'll make it easier to use power tools, but we're going to do this one lazy. So we're going to jump in here. First thing I pointed out was the cotter pin that's on that ball joint. Then you're going to have two more bolts right up by the bushings for the control arm. First thing we want to do is get our jack, get it positioned right underneath that lower control arm. That's going to give you the ability to lift and lower that shock to give you some space. Also, you'll see at the end where it helps out when it comes to that ball joint, getting that thing put back in. So I just removed the cotter pin. Now what we want to do is get that bolt off, as well as the two bolts that are going to be up by the control arm bushings. Now I have extended ratchets. It's going to make this job a lot easier, but what I am going to do is use some simple little ratchet tools just to show you that you can do this job with either or. Essentially the difference is going to be time. Power tools will allow you to move a little bit quicker, as well as, even though you're taking off more parts, it will be a little more convenient to remove the shock. But let's jump into this. Now when it comes to this ball joint, because I'm using brand new ball joints, brand new control arms, I don't need the old ones, so I went ahead and just whacked that bottom with a hammer. But if you're keeping the ball joint, I would recommend using a pickle fork or some type of wedge tool, something where you're not going to shock that bolt or snap anything, break anything with that hammer banging on that control arm. Now next up, again, this part's going to be a little easy because I have the extended ratchet, but you are able to get back there. What I had right here was 14 millimeters, so 14 millimeter socket. If you have a ratcheting one, it's going to make it quicker, but what you're going to want to do is fit it right in between those springs. And if you have issues with the springs being in the way, again, that jack at the bottom is what you're going to want to do to lift and lower it to kind of reposition where those springs are at. Now I reached in with my extended needle nose, but you can reach in with your fingers. On this side, it was actually easier for me to just spin it off of my finger and then just pop it out. So you'll see I'm just reaching back there and kind of just, as I'm spinning it, I'm sliding it backwards to my left. That's going to knock it out of that hole. There's really no resistance on it at that point. Control arm's going to be free. Pop that right out the car and we'll be on the reverse end. Now for parts, guys, if you're having to pull this from a junkyard or something, Kia, Hyundai, same part. So if they don't have it at Hyundai, call Kia. This is going to be your part number if you want to get it from AutoZone, but you can use that number to cross-reference at O'Reilly or any other shop. They can go ahead, take that number, and find you the part you need. The box didn't look like that. Disclaimer, I already opened it just to make sure I have my parts and everything, so everything was buttoned up. It wasn't ripped open, but you do want to take a look at everything, make sure you have the exact part you need so you don't get deep into the job and find out it's the wrong side or wrong model for what you're doing. Now I'm gonna fit this in here. You're gonna see the new bushings will kind of hold it in place. They should be nice and taut in there, and I will take that cup off that front end. Now with the needle nose, I had to angle that bolt backwards a little bit, so kind of at a 45-degree angle when I put it in order to weave it behind the shock or the strut and then get it in the hole. And then once I got it back there, I found it was easier to just put my hands in there, both hands, kind of just two fingers on each hand, put them in like chopsticks kind of, and then just push them into the side. Now right here is where you're really going to want to use that jack that's under the lower control arm. That's what's going to allow you to kind of get this knuckle put into place, because initially, depending on how high the car is lifted, when you go to put that control arm in, you might not have length on that ball joint. It may seem short or like it's not going in. If that's the case, then what you're going to want to do is get your jack, lift it up, and you'll see that space just kind of squeeze into place. Now don't destroy your brand new ball joint. You just want a little bit of squeeze on that thing. Make sure you grease it up. Unless it's fully sealed, then you don't need to worry about greasing it, but this is where you'll want to button that up. Now if you don't have extended ratchets, this is what I would recommend. Ratcheting wrenches if you have them, otherwise just your regular old box end, open end wrenches, you can grab those. Now I'm gonna put that end on there, my ratcheting end, and now with the other one I'm gonna link it right into the front of that box end and just spin it around. Literally just hook it on and then twist it over. Once you get it in this position, I'll try to get a better shot for you. It's going to be wedged in to where you can now use that leverage to get that bolt off. And again, these are just two little short 6-inch wrenches, so as long as you have the size you need, you don't need power tools to do this job. It's just going to take you more time. I have this sped up so you can see it's going to inch itself away because there's not much space up and down. I'll go ahead and get rid of the little extension now that it's loose enough and just kind of swing this thing out. But while doing this, the room you're going to want to make with your jack. Now this, I just wanted to show you how bad they are and how you know when you pull the control arm off. If your bushings are moving at all, the thing is toast. You can replace the bushings, but we had some damage to the control arm, so it was better to just get new control arms for this vehicle, and the price was pretty similar if you were going to purchase all of them separate. So here it is, finished, it's in there. Let's go.